What's up, YouTube? Your girl is back with another video, and today we are making a highly requested recipe of oxtail, y'all. So look how my oxtail are falling off the bone. They are nice and tender, and they're juicy, and they're just everything that we need to have on Sundays. So welcome back to another segment of Feed That Man Sundays, and again today we are making oxtails, y'all. These oxtails were so bomb. Let's just get into the recipe. So we have all of our oxtails in a bowl, and we're gonna start off with some light seasoning. So we have garlic powder, and then we have our Badia complete seasoning. And it looks heavy on the seasoning, y'all, but I promise it's not, because the bowl is so full of oxtails. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of toss them and massage the seasoning into our oxtails. Notice that my oxtails are cut a lot thinner than they would originally come from the grocery store. So if you're able to get your oxtails cut just a little bit thinner, please do so. It's easier to fry, and honestly, it's just easier to eat, with more realistic size oxtails instead of the big. They're like apples. They come too big. So in a cast iron skillet, I have vegetable oil that has heated. So we are going to flash fry and sear our oxtails. So you don't want to deep fry them. It looks like a lot of grease now, but I literally have a whole pan worth of oxtail. So by the time I'm done browning each and every oxtail, we're going to be left with pretty much nothing. So you want to cook them about 6 to 7 minutes on each side, just so they can get, a nice little sear. And we do this to kind of fry off the fat, so that when you're eating it, it kind of makes the meat just that much more tender, and it's totally worth it. So please do not skip this step. And don't bother your oxtails, y'all. Let them sear. I know it's like a waiting game, but So off to the side, I have a napkin on a plate, and we're going to use that to drain our grease. So look at that nice sear that we have. That is what you want. So once you have that on both sides, you're going to go ahead and place it on your napkin. It's the same concept for when you're frying anything. You need to let the grease drain. So I did leave this one, and I put it on its side because it had a lot of fat on it. So I just let that fry up for a little bit, as I started the next batch. And just maybe a minute or so. So you're going to repeat this process until all of your oxtails are nice and brown. And this is what they should look like. So I have more frying there. And then when they're done frying, I transfer it over to the napkin. I let the grease drain just a little bit. And then once the grease has drained from the oxtail, you're going to transfer it over to your baking pan, whatever you're going to use to bake your oxtails. So go ahead and repeat that process. Get that nice sear on all of your oxtails. And then we will go into the baking process. And you can do this a day ahead if you want to, like flash fry them the night before and then kind of prep them with the seasoning and ready to bake. You can do that as well. So all of my oxtails have been seared. So we're going to go in with some beef broth. Now you don't want to use a whole carton. It depends on how much you're making. So I do have a full pan worth, and I'm only going to use half a carton, just enough to kind of steam them up. But the oxtails will make their own juice as well, so you don't want to put too much. So we're going to go back in with garlic powder, onion powder, I'm sorry, complete seasoning, and then we have some allspice balls. Now this is totally up to you how much allspice balls you want to use. I used about 2 teaspoons, and then I'm going in with some dried thyme. You can use dried or fresh thyme. I prefer the dried to me because the the flavor is just more potent to me when it's dried. I'm gonna add some bay leaves. And then you're gonna go in with dark or light brown sugar, just brown sugar. It doesn't matter because I think I use both using this. So I also added some fresh green onions. You can chop this however you like. I thought it was easier to just use a pair of kitchen shears to chop it over. So however you want to chop it is fine, or if you want to buy it pre-chopped is also fine. So once you have all of your seasonings and your sugar, you're going to give the oxtails a very nice toss, and just make sure that all of them are coated with the seasonings and with the sugar. So the last thing we're going to do is take our gravy master, just so our oxtails have that nice brown color. And then we're going to add a little bit of that to it. And once we are done with that, we're going to take aluminum foil and you're going to cover your pan. And we're going to cook these oxtails for 3 hours. So here we are at the 2-hour mark. So you're just going to take them off and you want to give them a nice toss so that the other side of the oxtail is able to brown as the bottom did. So go ahead and toss all of your oxtails, flip them over, and make sure they get its turn, you know, to get sopped up all in the juice and in the gravy. So literally flip every single oxtail over to the other side so that they look the same. Look at that. And it's falling off the bone already, y'all. Yes. Look, yes. Come on. Come on, somebody. It's Sunday. Let's do this. So I did go back in with a little bit of brown sugar. If you don't like your oxtails on the sweeter side, you can skip this step. This step is totally optional. So I'm going to go in with brown sugar. I also added another pinch of salt. And then we're going to toss them again. So this recipe is like the toss game. So look, y'all. See how that meat separated from the bone already? And we still got an hour to go. Yes. Somebody. So now we're going to go in with a can of butter beans. Now, butter beans, you can't have oxtails and not have your butter beans sitting in there. It does not make sense to not have butter beans. If you're allergic, that would be the only reason that I would leave it out of this recipe. But it really does make the recipe, especially once it's over there, right? So we're going to put that back in for another hour. And then once that hour is complete, this is what your oxtail should look like. Nice and juicy, very, very tender. As you can see, they are separating from the bone. Like literally when you pick it up with that fork, the meat is gonna fall off the bone, y'all. So this is that simple. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. I of course serve this on Sunday. Look, y'all, look. You see the meat falling off that bone? Get into it. So we had some macaroni and cheese with some rice and peas and some yams. Like, of course, you know, once you make oxtail, you got to go all out. So you can pair this with anything that you like, maybe some cabbage. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in to another segment of Feed That Man Sunday. We will be back next Sunday with another video. If you do decide to make this recipe, please leave down in the comments below how you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, like and share. I will see you guys again next Sunday. Thank you.